Hello everyone, I am Karthik, lecturer of Royal Academy, Mangalore. So today I will discuss about the chapter named Ratio and Proportion. It is chapter 6 in GMAT quantitative section. Before starting the class, we'll discuss some of the formulas is required for the further problems. So so x percentage. So x percentage you can write like this. X percentage is nothing but x divided by 100. X divided by 100. So x percentage of y. So x percentage of y is nothing but x divided by 100. So x percentage is always 100. X divided by 100 into y. So that is nothing but x percentage of y into y. So next percent you also write like this: part divided by whole into 100 percentage. Percent is equal to part divided by whole. Whole is nothing but total. So part is nothing but some part in that whole. Okay, part divided by whole into 100. So that is nothing but percentage. Okay, next final as percentage original. So this is nothing but, so you have to find out the difference. Okay, in that situation, the final divided by original into 100. So percentage change. So percentage change formula is difference divided by original. This is same as this one, final divided by original or difference divided by original into 100. You have to remember these formulas for further problems. We'll see one by one problems in ratio and proportions. So first problem, at a certain university, the football program receives 4 times more funding than does the basketball program. At a certain university, the football program receives 4 times more funding. 4 times more funding. So 4 times more funding is received for football than the basketball. Okay. Together, the football and basketball programs receives 3 times as much funding as do all other sports. So football plus basketball is receives 3 times more funding compared to other sports. Okay, compared to other sports. Okay, much funding as do all other sports. Okay, what is the ratio of funding for the basketball program to the funding for all other programs? So you determine the basketball divided by other sports, that is yes. Okay, basketball is to yes. Okay, so basketball is to yes, you have to determine here. Asking what the ratio of funding for the basketball program to funding for all other sports. So here I will just denote the name. Okay, for football program, so I will just indicate it by F. Okay, football program I will just indicate it by F. Okay, next basketball program I will indicate it by B. Okay, basketball program I will indicate it by B, football F. Then other sports is nothing but I will indicate it by S. Okay, other sports I will indicate it by yes. So F, B, yes. So these are the options you have to determine like this. So this is nothing but basketball as well as other sports. Okay, B is to yes, B is to S. That is you have to determine from this question. Okay, so what is that? So what is given? So basketball is to B is how much? So basketball programs receive 4 times more funding. 4 times more funding. Basketball receive 4 times more funding than football program receive 4 times more funding. Football program receive 4 times more funding than the basketball. So that you can receive, you can write like this: football program receive 4 times more funding than the basketball. 4 is to 1. You can write like this. Next sentence is what? Football plus basketball program receives 3 times as much funding as do all other sports. 3 times. F plus B is 3 times compared to other sports. Other sports I will indicate it by yes. So other sports is 1. So F plus B is receives 3 times more funding. So you can write like this. Okay, Next, we'll see the two different method is there to solve these problems. We'll see one by one. Okay, so first method, so what is given, you just convert this sentence into equation form. So how to expression form, so how to convert the football program receive 4 times more funding than does the basketball program. F is equal to 4 times of basketball, 4 times of basketball. So consider the basketball receives 2 rupees or 2000 rupees. So football receives how much? Football receives is how much? So 4 into 2000 is nothing but 8000 rupees, 8000 rupees. So 4 times more. The football program receive four times more than that of basketball. So you can write like this: F is equal to 4B. So 4 into basketball, 4 is 4 times of basketball. So since football gets 4 times more than the basketball, so you can write F is equal to 4B. Next sentence is what? The football and basketball program receives 3 times as much funding as do all other sports program combined. So F plus B is equal to what? So F plus B is received received 3 times more funding compared to all other sports. So F plus B you can also write like this: F is nothing but 4B. So 4B plus 4B is equal to 5B is equal to 3 times, is equal to 3 times. So 3 times amount given to the other program, 3 times of S. So F plus B is equal to 3S. So F plus B is nothing but 5B. 5B is equal to 3S. Then you have to rearranging is nothing but left hand side is equal to right hand side. So this is the equation: 5B is equal to 3S, left hand side is equal to right hand side. You have to determine the value of B as well as S. So we need B is to S. In the question itself they mention B is to S, we have to determine. So that is nothing but left hand side is equal to right hand side. So 5B is to 3S. 5B is nothing but 3S. So B is nothing but basketball, S is nothing but total all sports. So 5 into 3, I will multiply 3 is equal to is to, and 3 into 5, just interchange the position. So what happens? So I will take S as 5 and B is 3. So 5 3 is a 15. 5 3 is a 15. So 15 left hand side as well as 15 right hand side, that is matches with each other. So that your answer is B is 3, S is 5. So B is 3, S is 5. So B is 3, B is equal to 3, S is equal to 5. So the ratio B is to S is how much? The ratio obtained 3 is to 5. I hope all of you understood. Second method is there. Second method is one more way. You just assume the value of basketball based on the option. So here 3 option is is there. So you just assume the basketball funding is 3. So next go for the sentence. So sentence what is given? So football program receive 4 times more funding than the basketball, more time funding. Then you determine the value of F. So F basketball you just assumed 3, right? So F is equal to how much? 4 times into 3. So 4 3 is a 12. So football funding is 12. If you consider the basketball funding is 3, then the football funding is 12. So based on this formula, F is equal to 4B, 4 into 3, 4 3 is a 12. Next together F plus B. F plus B is nothing but 3 times of S, 3 times of S. So F plus B, F is 12 and B is 3. So total is how much? 15. 12 plus 3 is 15. That is 15 is equal to 3S, is equal to 3S. So from that you can determine the value of S. So S is how much? S is how much? So 15. So 15 is left hand side is equal to 3 times of other sports. So S value is equal to 5. So S value is equal to 5. Okay. So here what we need? B is to S, right? So B value we already assume that is 3 and S value is how much? 5. So your final answer is 3 is to 5. So two-way method is there. Which one is easy? You just choose. Okay. So answer is C, that is 3 is to 5. That is nothing but basketball is to other sports. Next question. If A divided by B is equal to C divided by D. So what is the numerical ratio of B to D? So you have to find out the value of B to D. So here the expression is given A by B is equal to C by D. So two statement is given. So you have to answer for the question based on this statement. Using this statement you have to answer for the question. So the option is like this. The first statement alone you should is it possible to answer for the question. Second statement alone, is it possible to answer for the question. Both statement together, that is third option, both statement together to answer for the question. So each statement alone you can answer for the question. So next, none of the above. That is 5 option for this question. So first statement. So first statement is what? A by B is equal to 3C divided by 2B. Okay, so you just rearrange. So cross multiply. So 2B into A, 2AB is equal to 3C into B. So 3BC. So here you just divided by B. B is on both sides. So that remaining term is what? 2A is equal to 3C. You just cancel each other, BB. Then remaining thing is 2A is equal to 3C. 2A is equal to 3C. This means that A by C is equal to 3 by 2. A by C is equal to 3 by 2. So from the first statement you will get the value of A as well as C. So A is how much? A is equal to 3, C is equal to 2. So from the first statement you will get the value of A as well as C. So once you get the value of A and C, whether here already given, so what is that? A by B is equal to C by D. So it is already given. So based on this, it is also equal to A by C. So I will just interchange the position. So A by C is equal to B by D. So it is already given. A by C is equal to so we know the value of A and C. It is also equal to B by D. So from this you can determine the value of B by D. Okay, you can determine the value of B by D from this first statement. So you can answer for the question. Okay, next to go for the second statement. Second statement, what is given? A is given. A is equal to 2 and D is equal to 4. So just to substitute, A by B is equal to C by D. Here A value is given. A value is 2 divided by B is equal to C divided by D. D is given. D is 4. So from this expression, so while cross multiply, you will get the value as BC is equal to 8. So from this information, there is enough information is provided. So we don't know the value of B as well as D. Okay, we know the value of B. So we don't know the value. We don't know the value of B as well as C. Okay, so enough information is provided. So data is insufficient. So from this we can't determine the value of B to D. Why? Because we don't know the value of B. Okay, so from the first statement you can determine the value. Second statement is not possible. So which option is correct? Option A is correct. Option A is first statement alone you can answer for the question. So option A is correct. Next question, if the ratio of A to B is 4 to 3. Okay, ratio of A to B is 4 to 3 and the ratio of B to C is 1 to 5. So two ratio is given. A to B is 4 to 3 and ratio of B to C is 1 to 5. What is the ratio of A to C? From this you have to determine the ratio of A to C. So how to determine? This is ratio type of problems. These are the option for A to C. So how to determine? So A to B is given, that is 4 to 3 and B to C is also given 1 divided by 5. So just club together product rule. Okay, A to B into B to C. So B gets cancel each other, B gets cancel each other. Remaining term is what? A to C. So just just multiply 4 divided by 3 into 1 divided by 5. 5 3s are 15. 4 divided by 15. So that is your answer. That is nothing but A by C. A by C is 4 divided by 15. 4 divided by 15. Option A is correct answer for this question. So option A is correct. Next, the weight of a certain type of cable. The weight of a certain type of cable is always directly proportional to the length. Okay, so weight is directly proportional to length. It's given in the question. Okay, if 560 meters of this cable weight 84 kilogram. Okay, 560 meter, the length is 560 meter, the cable weight is how much? 84. So weight is directly proportional to length. Okay, what is the weight in kilogram? So you have to determine the weight of 110 meters of the same cable. 110 of the same cable. This is just the cross multiply. So you can easily determine by cross multiply method. So I will tell you. So 560 is 84. 560 is 84. So 110 is how much? Cross multiply. This is nothing but you have to determine the value of weight. Okay, so this is nothing but 84. So 84 into 110. 84 into 110 is equal to 560 into W. 560 into W. So this is the cross multiply. 84 into 110 is equal to 560 into W. So then simplification. So how to simplify? Here 1 0 cancel each other. Here also 1 0 cancel. Both side 1 0 cancel. Remaining term is 81 into 11 is equal to 56 W. So W is nothing but weight. Okay, weight you have to determine. So then common denominator. So you just divided this one as well as this one by 4. So 4 how much are 56? 4 14s are 56 and 4 21s are 84. 4 21s are 84. Okay, so 21 into 11 is equal to 14 into W. So again further you can divide. Simplification is possible. So how to simplify? So 7 2 is 14, 7 2 is 14 and 7 3 is 21. So divided by 7 on both sides. So what happens? 7 2 is 14, 7 3 is 21. So next 11 3 is 33 is equal to 2W. So W is equal to how much? 16.5. So which answer is correct? Option B is correct. I hope all of you understood. Very simple problem. Okay, just cross multiply. So option B is the correct answer. Next question. The ratio of the cost of a wooden plank to the length of the wooden plank is constant. Okay, so length of the ratio of the cost of a wooden plank to the length of the wooden plank is constant. For this type of length as well as cost is given. So one ratio you just remember, length divided by cost always. Okay, length divided by cost. So per length how much cost, like that. Okay, per length how much cost, you have to remember. A plank measuring 6 feet long. So long length is 6 feet and cost is 96. Okay, cost is 96. Jordan wants to buy planks that measures 10 feet in length and Kristen wants to buy planks that are 7.5 feet in length. How much more in dollars will Jordan pay per plank? Okay, you have to determine. So here the ratio of the cost of wooden plank to the length of a wooden plank is constant. Okay, that is constant. A plank measuring 6 feet long, cost is 96. Plank measure 6 feet long. 6 feet long, cost is how much? 96. Jordan wants to buy plank measure 10 feet. Jordan buys 10 feet length. Okay, Kristen wants to buy plank is 7.5. So the difference is how much? 10 minus 7.5. That is nothing but 2.5 feet extra. Jordan by 2.5 feet extra. Okay, how much in dollars will Jordan pay per plank? So Jordan, how much they have to pay? Okay, you have to determine. This is the answer. So how to determine? So first I already told the length divided by cost. So per length how much cost you have to measure like that. Okay, so length, how much is given? 6 feet length is given, divided by the cost is 96. So 6 divided by 96, 6 ones are 6 16s are, you just simplification. Next, plank that Jordan wants to buy is 10 minus 7.5. So Jordan buys 10 and Kristen wants to buy 7.5. The difference feet is how much? 10 minus 7.5, that is nothing but 2.5 feet longer than the plank that Kristen buy. Okay, so next let x be the cost of the 2.5. We don't know the cost of 2.5, so we know the ratio. The ratio is how much? 1 divided by 16 is equal to so 1 divided by 16 is equal to, so that is nothing but cross multiply. So last problem I already told. So how to find out the cross multiply? So it is nothing but for 6 feet 96, for 2.5 feet what is the cost? You have to determine the cost. So that is nothing but x. So just cross multiply 2.5 into so here already simplified, that is nothing but here this is 1 and this is 16, this is 16. Okay, so what happens? 2.5 into 16 and 1 into x, so like that. Okay, 1 divided by 16 and 2 is equal to 2.5 divided by x. It is written like this. Okay, so next from this you can determine the value of x. So x is how much? X is equal to 16 into 2.5, 16 into 2.5, that is nothing but x is equal to 40. Okay, x is equal to 40. So you have to determine the value of x. X is nothing but the cost of 2.5 feet difference. Okay, so you have to determine the difference. Okay, so how much more they are asking? How much more Jordan has to pay compared to Kristen? How much more? How much more? $40 more compared to Kristen. Why? Because the feet length is 2.5 is more in Jordan, like that. Okay, so I hope all of you understood. The option A is correct, that is nothing but 14 here. Why? Because here they are asking how much more in dollars will Jordan pay per plank. So how much more? How much more? $40 more compared to Kristen. Okay, next question. There are chips of 4 different colors distributed in stack as follows: 1 by 2 are white, 1 by 6 are green, 1 by 5 are blue. So different types, different color of chips. Okay, so 1 by 2 are white, 1 by 6 are green, 1 by 5 are blue. The ratio is given, the fraction is given. Okay, then the remaining 12 chips are red. So remaining chips is already given, that is 12. So what is the total number of chips in the 4 stacks? So you have to determine the remaining chips. Okay, so how to determine? This is the answer. So you have to find out the answer and select the option. Okay, so next, so here 1 by fraction is given, 1 by 2, 1 by 6 and 1 by 5 chips. So better to choose one value. Okay, so that value should be divisible by all these numbers. So how to determine that value? By using take factors or common denominator. Take factor or find out the common denominator. So common denominator for this number is 30. So how to determine the common denominator? So that is nothing but, if it is number is 2, 6 and 5, so I will divide it by 2. 2 ones are 2, 3 is and 5. Okay, so next, so this is nothing but 3. 3 ones are and 5. Next one is 5. 5 ones are. Okay, 5 3s are 15. 15 2s are 30. So exact number is 5 3 is a 15, 15 2 is a 30. So 30 is a common term. So that is exactly divisible by all three numbers. Okay. So you just choose in the option in such a way that that should be a multiple of 30. So here how many number is there? Multiplication of 30. One is 60, one is 90. You choose first 60. So 60. So just multiply 1 divided by 2 into 60. How much? That is 6 ones are 6 tens are 10 green chips. 10, so sorry, 1 divided by 2 into 60, that is nothing but 30 white chips. Next, how many green chips? 1 divided by 6 into 60 is 10 green chips, and 1 divided by 5 into 60, so that is blue chips, 12 blue chips. Just add all these and subtract from the 60. So you should get how much? Remaining chip is 12 chips. It is given in the question. If it is not given, yes, you just go for the next options. So total is 60 chips. Total is 60 minus 30 minus 10 minus 12. You will get 8 chips. So this is a wrong answer. 60 is a wrong answer. Why? Because the remaining chips is given as 12 chips. So 60 is a wrong answer. So 90 is the correct answer. You just try for like this only. 90 is the correct answer. So just go try once. So option C is the correct answer. Option C is the correct answer. I hope all of you understood. So how to determine? So first 1 by 2 and into 90 is equal to, you will get some value. 1 by 6 into 90 you will get one value. 1 by 5 into 90 you will get one value. Then 90 minus, subtract all the value, you will get the answer is 12. Okay, remaining chips is 12. You should get. So that is your correct answer. So option is C is the correct answer. Next question. Four different batches of concrete are combined in a large mixed vat, batch A, which weight 1000 kilogram. So four different concrete batches. Okay, so batch A is weight is 1000 kilogram, contains 30% gravel by weight. Okay, batch B, which is twice the weight of batch A, is made up of 40% gravel. Okay, so batch C weight 25% less than batch B and contains 50% gravel. Finally, batch D, total batch A, batch B, batch C and batch D, which is half the weight of the batch A, contains 60% gravel. What is the percentage of gravel in the concrete when four batches are mixed together? So you have to determine. So what is the question? What is the percentage of the gravel in the concrete when four batches mix together? Okay, so total percentage you have to find out once all it is clubbed together. So what is given in the question? One large mixture. Okay, large mixture, total four different types of mixture, A, B, C, D. So four different batches. So batch A contains how much weight? 1000 pounds. And batch B contains is what? Twice the weight of the batch A. Batch A weight is 1000. Batch B weight is what becomes 2000. Twice the weight. So 2000. Next, batch C weight 25% less than batch B. So 25% is nothing but 1500. That is batch C. So total is 2000. You just divided by 4. So 2000 divided by 4, you will get 500. So 2000 you divided into four different parts. Why? Because 25%. So 2000 divided by 4, you will get how much? 500. You will get answer 500, and then subtract 2000 minus 500. Why? Because the batch C weight 25% less, so that 1500. Next, batch D is half the weight of the batch A. So half the weight of the batch A. So batch A weight is 1000, half the weight is nothing but 500 kilogram. Okay, next, try to solve the problem. So how to solve the problems? So first one is batch A, weight is 1000 kilogram, contains 30% gravel. 1000, 30%. So how to written? X percentage is nothing but X divided by 100. So 30% is nothing but 30 divided by 100. It is nothing but 0.30 into 1000. You will get 300 kg. Similarly, find out for batch B. Batch B is how much? 2000 into 0.4 is nothing but, so 800 kg. 800 kg. Why? Because batch B percentage gravel percentage is 40 percentage. The weight of the gravel batch C. Batch C is how much? 1500. That is a weight. Batch C weight is 1500 into gravel percentage is 50 percentage. So that 50 you can write 0.5. That is nothing but 750. And weight of the batch 4, batch D, is equal to 500. The kilogram is 500 into 60 percentage. 0.6 is equal to 300. Then add all the weights. Okay, total weight of the gravel is how much? 300 plus 800 plus 750 plus 300. You will get answer as 2150 kg. 2150 kg. That is the total weight of the gravel after mixing all together. And then total weight. Total weight is how much? This is a gravel weight. So total weight of the gravel. Then complete mixture is how much? Total weight of the complete mixture is how much? Add all these together, 1000, 2000 and 1500 as well as 500. So you will get 5000 kg. Then you find out the percentage. They are asking percentage. Okay, percentage gravel one while mixing all together. So percentage gravel. So the weight of the gravel is all together 2150 divided by total mixture weight is 5000 into 100. Converting into percentage, you have to multiply into 100. So you will get as 43%. You will get as a 43 percentage. I hope all of you understood. The second option is a correct. Okay, 43 percentage. Next question. In the first quarter of the year, a certain entrepreneur sold 36% of the 75 craft that she put for the sale online. In the second quarter of this year, she sold 1/4 of the remaining craft. 1/4 of the remaining craft. What is the percentage decrease from the first quarter to the second in the number of craft the entrepreneur sold? So you have to determine the what is the percentage decrease from the first quarter to the second quarter. So how to determine? These are the option. The percentage, they are asking percentage, so that this is a percentage type of problem. So first quarter, so what is that? First, what is given? A certain entrepreneur sold 36 percentage. So how to write percentage? 36 percentage into 75 craft. So 36 you also written like this, 36 divided by 100, that is nothing but 0.36 into 75. So for the simplification, you just this is right like this, 36 into that 2 point, you just move to right hand side. So what happens? For the simplification, it is very easily simplified. So 0.75 into 36, 0.75 into 36, both are same. So you can shift from left side to right side, no problems. But two digit as it is, that should be before the points. Okay, so 0.75 here I will just interchange 36 into 0.75. So 0.75 that is nothing but 3/4, that is also equal to 3/4. So it is very easy to calculate without using the calc. So 0.75 I will write like this, 3/4 into 36. So 4 ones are 4 nines are 9 threes are 27 crafts sold. In the first quarter, total how many crafts are sold? 27 crafts are sold. Okay, so next one. So next cycle, so second cycle. So how many remaining? Second cycle is what happened? The second quarter of that first year, she sold 1/4 of the remaining craft. So here 27 craft is already sold. Total is how much? 75. You have to subtract 75 minus 27 is remaining is how much? 48. That is sold 1/4 of the remaining sold remaining craft. 1/4 into 48. So 4 ones are 4 12s are 12. Next what? So what is the percentage decrease? You have to find out the percentage change. Okay, you have to find out the percentage change from first quarter to second quarter. So what is the formula? Percentage change is equal to difference in value divided by original value into 100. Percentage change is equal to difference in value. Difference in value is nothing but, so previous value, first quarter value is how much? 27 minus second quarter value is how much? 12 divided by first original value. Original value is nothing but first quarter value, so that is nothing but 27. So 15 divided by 27 into 100. 100 is nothing but converting into percentage, fraction you converting into percentage. 5 so here you just simplify. 3 5s are 15, 3 9s are 27. Simplification, so you will get as 55 into 5 divided by 9. So how to determine? So just converting this equation, so converting into this form, so that is nothing but 9 how much the 100. So that is, in that way also you can find out. So you just simplify, you will get answer as 55 into 5 divided by 9. So I will tell you how to convert that value. Initially 5 into 100, 500, 500 divided by 9. So 5 how much? 5 5 is 45, 5 5 is 45, 45. This value is over. So next this value is over 45. Remaining thing is 5. So that is nothing but again 50. So 5 5 is 45, 45. So here 50 is there, 50 is there. So then 50 is nothing but 5 remaining divided by 9, divided by 9 percentage. So this is the answer. Okay, I hope all of you understood. So total is 500, 500 divided by 9. So 9 5 is 45, 5 is 45, and the remaining 5 you just write in the above. So that is nothing but 50, that is nothing but 50. So again 5 5 is 45, again one more 5 and 45, and remaining thing is what? Here 50 is there. So that remainder you should write like this, here 5 divided by denominator, that is 9. So 55, 5 divided by 9. So this is your answer. Option C is the correct answer. Next question. A display case contains a certain number of donuts, some chocolate, some jelly filled, and rest plain. Okay. So 1/6 of the donuts are chocolate. Okay. So how many chocolate donuts must be added so that 1/4 of the total donuts are chocolate? So you have to determine like this. Two statements are also given. So first statement tells that there are 40 plain donuts in the case. Second statement tells that the ratio of plain donuts to jelly filled donuts is 2:1. Two statement is given. From this statement you can determine the value of how many chocolate donuts must be added. So that is must be added. So that the 1/4 of the total donuts are chocolate. Initially the 1/6 of the donuts are chocolate. Then after adding some more chocolate, that is nothing but x more chocolate to the chocolate, so that 1/6 of the total chocolate donuts chocolate becomes 1/4 of the total donuts. So that is nothing but how much more chocolate donuts we have to add to change from 1/6 to 1/4. That you have to determine with the help of two statement, from which statement alone you can answer. So here I will choose the chocolate C and jelly filled C, and rest plain I will choose P is equal to total. C plus J plus P is equal to total. Then what is given in the question? 1/6 of the donuts are chocolate. C is equal to 1/6 of the total. So 1/6 of the donuts are chocolate in the whole mixture. So C is equal to 1/6 of the total. So I will write like this. Next, just consider X is the total chocolate donuts are added. So how much we should add? How much we should add to change from 1/6 to 1/4? Okay. So C plus C is the actual chocolate. chocolate plus x number of total donuts, okay, x number of total donuts is equal to 1/4 of total donuts t plus x. We have to add. I hope all of you understood. So x is a chocolate donuts are added. This also adds to the total number of donuts. So c is equal to c plus x is equal to 1/4 of total donuts. Total donuts. How much more total donuts we should add to the actual chocolate to becomes 1/6 to 1/4. So C is nothing but 1/6 into T. So 1/6 into T plus X, same equation, 1/6 in T plus X is equal to 1/4 of the total donuts are chocolate. Total donuts are chocolate. So how much more we should add to becomes 1/6 to 1/4? That is the question you have to determine. So X is nothing but number of chocolate we should add to converting from 1/6 to 1/4. I hope all of you understood. So here in the first statement, what is given? There are 40 plain donuts in the case. Okay, P is equal to 4. Just they given the information of P. There nothing else is given, so that is nothing but we can't determine the answer. Why? Because just it is giving the percentage of P only, no nothing about J as well as C. So from this you can't determine. From the first statement alone it is not possible to find out. Why? Because just given the information of P. Next, the ratio of the plain donuts to jelly filled donuts, that is given. The ratio is given, but the number is not given. So from the second statement also is not possible to determine. So first statement P is just the information of P is given. Second statement, so just the ratio is given. So within this ratio we can't judge how much is plain donuts and how much is jelly donuts. So from the second statement it's also not possible. Then club together, both statement club together. What information you are getting? So from the second statement, first statement you will get as P is equal to 40, and second statement you will get that the ratio is P by J is equal to 2 divided by 1. So P is known from the first statement. You just substitute here. 40 divided by J is equal to 2 divided by 1. So what happens? 40 is equal to 2J. So from by clubbing these two equations, you will get as 40 is equal to 2J. 40 is equal to 2J. So from that you can determine jelly donuts is how much? Jelly is how much? 20. Jelly is how much? Is 20. From the first statement you will get as P is 40. From the second statement or clubbing together you will get as J is equal to 20. So total is how much? 60. 40 plus 20 is 60. Okay. So here we don't know the this one chocolate donuts is how much? We don't know. So how to determine chocolate donuts is equal to 1/6 of total. That is given. C is equal to 1/6 times of T. Okay. Next, so we know the percentage of, so other than chocolate. So what is that? Non-chocolate donuts we know. Non-chocolate donuts we know. So chocolate donuts is nothing but 1/6 of T. So how to determine non-chocolate donuts? That is nothing but like this. So this is nothing but 5/6. This is nothing but 5/6. Take common denominator. So 6, and 6 ones are 6, minus 1 is nothing but 5 divided by 6. Okay, this is a non chocolate donuts. So that is nothing but 5/60 is equal to, 60 is the total, is equal to 5 divided by 6. 5 divided by 6. Why? Because here chocolate is not included, so that 5 divided by 6 into T. So T percentage is how much? So from this, so that is nothing but T. That is nothing but T. So T is become how much? How to determine T? So T is equal to this 6 goes to here, 60, and 5 is goes to denominator. 60 into 6 divided by 5. 6 is multiplied to 60, 5 is in the denominator. 60 into 6 divided by 5, you will get 72. So 72 is the total donuts. Okay. So this is nothing but total donuts is how much? 72. So remaining, so jelly plus P is plain donuts is how much? 60. So you, from this you can determine what is the C value. C value is how much? Total donuts is 72. So jelly is 20, P is 40, remaining thing is C is equal to 12. From this you can determine the value of C. Okay, then what is the question actually? How many chocolate donuts must be added so that 1/4 of the total donuts are chocolate? So how to determine? So whether it is possible to determine or not, we'll see. So 1 by 6, this is the equation. 1 by 6 into t plus 6 x is equal to 1 by 4th of t plus x. So 1 by t is how much? 72 plus x is equal to 1 by 4th of t is equal to 72 plus x. So from this expression is possible, whether it is possible to determine the value of x, so is possible. So which statement alone you can answer? Both statement together you can find out the value of x. Both statement together you can find out the value of x. So which option is correct? Option C is the correct answer for this question. I hope all of you understood. It's very tricky question, so just read once again. So if you have any doubt, please approach me. So from both statement together you can answer for the question. So x value is equal to 8, but answer is not important for such type of question. Next question, a farmer who grows only two crops, corn and soybean, okay, corn and soybean, has the same combined target output by weight every year. Okay, the target remains same, target remains same, target remains same for every year. This year corn makes up to 40% of the crop and weight is 24 tons. So first year crop percentage is how much? 40% of the crops and weight is 24 tons. Next year, however, the farmer wants corn to be only 15% of the total tonnage. How many more? They are asking how many more tons of the soybean must be farmer grow next year to maintain the same target output. Maintain the same target output. How many more tons? How many more tons? They are asking how many more tons extra soybean has to be okay. So these are the option. How many more soybean tons? So the question is asking what? So first year the question described the first year what happens, only two variety of crops, one is corn as well as soybean. So corn percentage is of how much first year? 40%, that is nothing but 24 tons. 40%, that is nothing but 24 tons. From this expression you can determine the total tons production in the first year, that is nothing but 60, that is nothing but 60. Okay, so here that is not required. So this year 24 tons of corn makes up to 40% of the output. Okay, 40% of the output. So remaining thing is soybean. So 24 tons they produce corn, that is nothing but 40%, that is nothing but 40%. Next year she wants to grow the same total output but have only 15% corn. So remaining are soybean. So but here they are not asking the total percentage of soybean, but in the second year the production of corn is only 15%. Next, how many more tons of soybean must be the farmer grow in order to get the same output, first year as well as second year? That is a question. So first year the 24 tons of corn makes 40% of the target. So target output is how much? So target output is how much? So based on this question, 40%, you can also write like this: 40 divided by 100 is nothing but 0.40 into total is equal to 24 tons. So from this you can easily determine the value of 4.4. You can also write like this: 4 divided by 10. So it is easily simplification. T is equal to 60. So this is nothing but 40. So T is equal to 60. So this is nothing but, so from the first year 24 corn and remaining thing is how much? So that is nothing but 36 soybean. 36 is soybean. Second year 15 percentage. 15 percentage is nothing but how much? 15 into 60. So 15 into 60. So how much? 15 percentage of 60 is how much? That is nothing but, so 9 tons. That is nothing but 9 tons. 15 percentage of 60. So 6 gets cancelled, 0 gets cancelled each other. That is nothing but 6 into 1.5. That is nothing but 9 tons. 9 tons. Okay, so 9 tons production corn. Remaining thing is how much? Soybean. So soybean percentage is how much? Soybean percentage, soybean is how much? So 51 is the 51 ton is the soybean. 51 ton is the soybean. So what they are asking from this, what they are asking, so how many more tons of the soybean must the farmer grow next year to maintain the same target output? How many more soybean they have to add? So that is nothing but difference of these two. So first year 24 is the corn, second year only 9 is the corn. So 24 minus 9 is the 15 is the answer. 15 is the answer. So 15 more soybean has to produce us. How many more? How many more is nothing but 15 more soybean. 15 ton more soybean must be farmer grow in the next year to maintain the same target output. Okay, so 15 more. Answer, which answer is correct? So option B is the correct answer. Next question, if an amount of a solution contains 10% chemical A is combined with the twice as much as of the solution that is 30% chemical A, and 4 times as much of a solution that is 35% chemical A. So what is the concentration of the chemical A in the resulting solution? You have to determine the concentration of a chemical A after mixing all together. Okay, so this is the option. So ratio is how much? So chemical A combined with the, so initially 1, so chemical A 1, and chemical A is combined with the twice as much of a solution. So 2, second solution is 2, and third solution is chemical A 4 times as much as of much of a solution. 4 times, initially 1, second twice, and third time is 4 times as much of a solution. So that the ratio is 1:2:4. 1:2:4. So what is given in the question? First unit, 10% solution contains. 10% solution contains. So 1 into, first solution is 1 into 0.1. 10%. 10% is nothing but 10 divided by 100. That is nothing but 0.1. So 0.1 units. 0.1 units. Okay. Next, second units. Second unit is how much? Second unit. Second unit is 30 percentage. Second unit is 30 percentage. 2 into 0.3. That is nothing but 30 percentage is nothing but 30 divided by 100. That is nothing but 0.3. 0.3 into 2 is nothing but 0.6 units. Next, 4 units. Third one is 4 unit. 4 unit is 35% solution. 4 into 35 divided by 100 is nothing but 0.35, 1.4 units. So total unit is how much? 1.4 plus 0.6 plus 0.1. So total unit is 2.1 units divided by total volume of the combined solution. Total volume is nothing but 1 plus 2 plus 4. Total volume is how much? 7 units. So the units is how much? Units, you have to find out the concentration. What is the concentration of the chemical A? That is nothing but total unit divided by the volume of the chemical solution. Volume of the chemical solution. Total units is 2.1 divided by the volume of the chemical solution, that is 7. That is nothing but 7 3s are 21. So is nothing but 0.3. You have to converting into percentage. Why? Because the option is in percentage. So into 100. 0.3 into 100 you will get as 30 percentage. You will get as 30 percentage. That option E is the correct answer. Next question. So here preference is given. Science museum is 60 percentage. and art museum is 30 percentage. No preference is given, that is 10 percentage. So what is this? The administration of a certain school survey all 120 students to plan a field trip, all total 120 students in a school. Okay, so to plan a field trip, each student can express a preference for only one destination, the science museum, the art museum, or neither. Okay, so each 120 students has express a preference for only one destination, either science museum, art museum, okay, or neither. Okay, no preference is given. Okay, the result of the neither is nothing but either they have to choose science or no preference. Okay, the result of the student survey are shown above. Result, so 60% of the students choose for science museum, 30% of the student chooses art museum, and some 10% students no preference is given for the field trip. Okay, they assume that the maximum number of students what are allowed to visit their preferred museum visit that museum for the field trip. How many students who have a preference do not visit their preferred museum, you have to determine. So how many students who have preference, so preference is nothing but science museum. So based on the restriction, so it is not possible. So likewise, how many students preferred but not able to visit, that number you have to determine with this two statement. So first statement tells what? Due to the transportation constraint, the maximum number of students who can take a field trip to the science museum is 55. So 55 is given. So science museum capacity is how much? 55. So here total how much student? Total student is given as 120 students. So here 60% preference is given for science museum. So 120 into 60 percentage is nothing but total 72 students. But as per the information provided in the first statement, the trip, so can student who can take a field trip to the science museum is 55 due to the transportation constraint. Okay, 55. So how much students? 17 students who preferred science museum but not able to choose science museum. So here in the first statement, give the just give the information of science museum, but there is no information is provided for the art museum. So first statement alone you can't judge for the answer. Why? Because just to give the information about science museum, science we come to know that 17 students, total 72 students preferred for the science museum, but based on the restriction only 55 students is allowed, remaining 17 student is not able to attend the science museum. But what about art museum? Art museum is information is not provided in the first statement, so it is not possible. Go for the second statement. Second statement, what is that? Due to high demand, the art museum can accommodate a maximum is 50 percentage. So again, here in the second statement they just give the information of art museum, and but the science museum information is not provided in the second statement. So within the second statement also you can't answer for the question. Okay, so second statement tells that total 120 student, that is 30 the percentage is nothing but 36 students. So maximum capacity is 50 students. So 36 student, all students can possible to attend the art museum based on the preference. But here the science museum information is not provided, so it is not determined with the help of second statement. I hope all of you understood. Here the science museum, only science museum information is provided. Here art museum information is provided. So first statement alone is not possible to find out the answer. Second statement alone is not possible to find out the answer. Then club together both. So while club together, you will get the information of art museum as well as science museum. So while clubbing together, you can answer for the question: how many students who have preferred do not visit their preferred museum. From this you can answer for the question. So option C is the correct answer. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any doubt in the ratio and proportions chapter, please approach me. Thank you one and all.